Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Dave TV for this 30th of December 2012 edition. One of the last roundup for 2012 Dave TVs I'll be doing this year. Maybe I'll do another one. Who the hell knows? You know, it's a slow news period, this era around Christmas and New Year's. And there's not a lot of news, so I flesh them out with these Dave TVs, kind of, throw them up on the site, and it makes it look like we're busy. So another one of these. I'm going to do a good year, bad year. There was a Washington Post today. They had a good year and a bad year for a bunch of different people. Good year for Obama, bad year for Mitt Romney, that kind of thing, So I'm going to do a good year, bad year rundown just to kind of fill some space here. This is the Post, the Sunday Post, resolutions for saving. Yes, they do this every year. They tell us we plebes out there how we can save money. What we should do here, we should cancel magazines. Don't subscribe to all these magazines. We should get rid of our gym memberships. We should go to the movies less. We should eat out less. Clip coupons. But they never mention one thing that'll save you a couple $100 a year. That's canceling your newspaper subscription. I mean, they never. Why do they never mention that? Man, see, I get so wrapped up in these Dave TVs that I choke. I don't know. Why? Hey, you can get the Washington Post, pretty much all this content for free on the website. Why are you paying $30 a month or $25 a month to get this thing delivered to your door with lots of big pictures in it? I mean, they always see this, cut this, cut your cable TV, cut this, but, get this stupid dead print newspaper delivered on your door, even though you can buy pretty much get everything free on the internet. I don't know. All right, good year, bad year. Good year, bad year 2012, okay? Let's take a quick look. Good year for WTOP. Even though it had more competition this year, WAMU, WNEW, the New All Newser, and all that, they still did well. They sound great. I'm sure they're going to pull in a ton of money that, when the figures come out. Station's still looking good. Hey, even though you're technically not number one, it still was a very good year for WTOP, and it could have been a lot worse. It really could have been. If WNEW had mounted some decent competition, WTOP could be 7th or 8th place this year, but they held firm, and for many weeks, not all weeks, but for a number of weeks, they were number one. There were a number of big storms this past year, like Hurricane Sandy and the derecho back in June, and TOP came through with flying colors. They did a great job, and it was a good year for WTOP. A bad year for CBS-DC. CBS-DC just continued to flounder. They're all newser, couldn't get any ratings traction. There were many weeks where CBS, with their 4 or 5 FMers, couldn't even get a station in the DC radio top 10. PGC continues to flounder. Fresh 94.7 is still trying to find its identity in its battle with Hot 99.5. They're still not quite there. The signals of the stations aren't so great. WNEWs have trouble. El Zol on 107.9, although it's shown a few signs of life lately, is still, they still have a deficient signal to a large chunk of the metro area. There's a lot of work. JFK is still kind of a mess. Who knows? Steve Swenson's got a lot of work cut out for him in 2013, that's for sure. Good year, again, for NBC4. Continued to be at the top of the ratings for news in Washington. Again, Channel 9's can't get it together. Channel 5's been kind of okay, but kind of weakness there. Letting Steve Chenevigo go is not a great thing. Channel 7, they're still relying a lot on the old guys. Their newscasts with, even though they're in HD, widescreen, they still have that, they still haven't upgraded their report, the on the street reports. It has kind of a tacky, low rent quality to it. I do like, you got to love Gordon Peterson and Maureen Bunyan, but, they're kind of like, all right, guys, It's just not bringing the ratings in. They got a lot of problems over there. So another good year for Channel 4. And, Wendy Rieger, what can you say about Wendy Rieger's magnificent coverage of Hurricane Sandy? I mean, nothing top that. A bad year for WMAL. Yeah. I mean, even though they had a little bit of a ratings jolt there around the election period there, basically everything they stood for lost in the election. They're sitting there aligning themselves with all these right-wing things. Just about everything they did, campaigned for, it didn't win. They were an irrelevant station, basically. They're kind of a joke. The morning shows is just this mess. They're plugged into the satellite for the rest of the day. Chris Plant's just nutty. I mean, he's kind of, in a weird, bizarre way, entertaining because he's just so crazy. But the station has no relevance. They have no relevance. Nobody pays attention to them on a serious basis other than a couple of kook pots. So there. And that's even with a move to 105.9. It's still, they're just a fringe station, and that's what they're going to stay. Good year for Hot 99.5. Another, hey, what do you say? Clear Channel just as a cookie cutter, top 40 hit station here in Washington. Nothing special about it, but they did get good ratings, and they were on the cusp, and all the little kids that still, those kids that still listen to radio, there's a few of them. That's where they were parked on 99.5 this year. Bad year for the Washington Post. Again, they just, the paper just continues to go down the tubes. Nobody seems to be able to stop it. Nobody cares. The managing editor leaves. They'll get a new managing editor. They'll probably put up a paywall. They'll probably go down even further. Every quarter they lose more subscribers. The paper looks bad. Nobody seems to care. What the hell? A good year, WAMU. How many markets have a public radio news talker as the top station? Not many. And there you go. WAMU, despite the fact that we got, a lot of talk in this market with WTOP All News and WNEW All News and MAL Conservative Talk and all that, here we go with little old WAMU, their top station, week after week after week with what they do. And, of course, a bad year for Fishbowl, D.C. This is my competition blog. They try to cover Washington media, and basically they just cover a tiny bunch of maybe the 1%ers there around Capitol Hill. And, But you have to hand it to them. For the past 10 days, for about the last third of December, they've had me. They have had me on the front page of their website. That's right. You go to Fishbowl, D.C. There they come. This is today. This is the 30th of December. And you go down to the bottom of the page, if it ever loads. Go down to the bottom of the page, and guess what you see? You see me. There I am. Whoops. Okay, it trashes me, but still. I mean, what other website? I don't even, put me on the front page of my rival's website for a whole 10, 11 days. I mean, they're completely, that's like birdcage nuttiness, but that's Fishbowl. I tell you, Media Bistro needs to get the pine saw out, clear the decks, and start over, because that site is a gigantic screw up. I mean, they post a year-end review of the 10 people they cover over and over and over and over and over, and ignore the other thousands in the Washington media market. And, it gets 3 or 4 retweets and no comments. That's how relevant they are. They joined WMAL in the irrelevant camp. All right, folks, that's Dave TV for 2012. Maybe that's the last Dave. This is probably the last Dave TV I'll do for 2012. Because I probably won't do one tomorrow. So, what the hell? Unless something happens. Unless suddenly CBS says, you know what? We're going to put oldies on 99.1. We're going to bring HFS back. We're going to do... Thanks for being around for Dave TV. Thanks for being around for DCR TV this year. We've had a great year. And 2013, got some plans for some additional websites coming down the pipe. So stay tuned for that. And have a really, I mean it. Have a great new year. Happy New Year, everybody. Live long and prosper.